Welcome to English Power Podcast. Speak English with confidence. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Alex, your host and English coach. I'm so happy you're here today. If you're someone who wants to speak English more easily, more confidently, and more naturally, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that almost every English learner struggles with: how to think fast and speak smart in English. Have you ever had this moment? You know what you want to say, but the words just don't come out fast enough. You pause, you search for the right word, and by the time you think of it, the moment is gone. Yes, it's frustrating, but don't worry, you're not alone. Almost every learner has felt this way at some point. In this episode, I'll help you understand why this happens, and most importantly, how you can fix it. We'll talk about how to train your brain to think faster in English, how to speak more clearly and smartly, and how to practice daily so English becomes a natural part of your thinking. And don't worry, everything I share today will be in simple English so you can understand and follow easily. I'll give you practical examples, useful tips, and even some fun ideas to help you think and speak like a confident English speaker. So get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's start learning together. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear idea of how to think faster, speak smarter, and feel more confident every time you use English. Why it's difficult to think fast in English. Before we learn how to think fast in English, let's talk about why it's so difficult for many learners. If you've ever felt that your brain freezes when you try to speak English, don't worry, it's completely normal. There are real reasons behind it. Reason 1. Many learners translate from their native language. When you want to say something in English, your brain first thinks in your own language, then tries to change those words into English. This process takes time. For example, you might think in your native language, I need to go to the store, and then you translate it word by word. That's why it feels slow. Your brain is doing extra work. Reason 2. Fear of making mistakes. You might worry, what if I say something wrong? Or what if people don't understand me? This fear stops your brain from working naturally. You start checking every word, every grammar rule, and that slows you down. It's like trying to drive fast while pressing the brake at the same time. Reason 3. Lack of practice in real situations. Many learners study grammar and vocabulary for years, but they don't actually use English to communicate. So when it's time to speak, your brain isn't ready to respond quickly. It's like knowing the rules of a game but never playing it. When you finally play, you feel nervous and slow. Reason 4. Not enough English input. If you don't listen to enough English or read English regularly, your brain doesn't get used to how the language sounds and flows. The more you hear English, the faster your brain can connect ideas, words, and sounds. So don't blame yourself if you can't think fast right now. It's not because you're bad at English, it's because your brain just needs more training and practice. The good news is, you can train it. Just like a muscle, your brain can become faster and stronger with daily English practice. The connection between thinking and speaking. Now that we understand why thinking fast can be difficult, let's talk about the connection between thinking and speaking in English. Here's the truth. If you want to speak fast, you first need to think fast. Speaking is really just your thoughts turned into words. Before you say something, your brain quickly chooses words, builds a sentence, and sends it to your mouth. If your thoughts in English are slow, your speaking will also be slow. But if your thinking becomes quick and natural, your words will come out easily, almost without effort. Imagine you're watching a movie in your native language. You understand it instantly, you don't need to translate anything. That's because your brain is trained to think in that language. Now imagine watching a movie in English. Sometimes you need a few seconds to understand, right? That's because your brain is still learning to connect English sounds with English meaning. The same thing happens when you speak. So the key is to train your brain to think directly in English without translating. When you do that, your thoughts and words move together like a smooth road. At first, it may feel slow or strange, but the more you practice, the faster it becomes. Think of your brain like a road. When you start using English, the road is small and full of bumps. It takes time to travel, but every time you practice thinking and speaking in English, that road becomes wider and smoother. Soon your thoughts can move quickly without stopping. Remember this: fluent speaking doesn't begin with your mouth, it begins with your mind. If you train your mind to think in English, your mouth will naturally follow. Key principles to think fast and speak smart. Now that we know how thinking and speaking work together, let's talk about a few key principles. Simple rules that can help you think faster and speak smarter in English. These principles will guide you every time you speak, whether you're in a class, at work, or just chatting with a friend. Principle 1. Focus on ideas, not perfect grammar. When you speak, your goal is to communicate your message, not to sound perfect. Many learners slow down because they're trying to remember every grammar rule. But real communication is about sharing your idea clearly. Even native speakers make small mistakes all the time, but people still understand them. So instead of thinking, "Is this sentence correct?" ask yourself, "Will the listener understand me?" That's how you start speaking faster and with more confidence. Principle 2. Keep your sentences short and simple. You don't need long, complicated sentences to sound smart. In fact, short sentences are easier to say and easier to understand. For example, instead of saying, "I would have gone to the party if I had known about it earlier," you can simply say, "I didn't know about the party, so I didn't go." Both mean the same thing, but the second one is clearer and faster to say. Simple language is powerful. Principle 3. Use common patterns and chunks of language. Fluent speakers often use ready-made phrases, not single words. For example, you know what I mean. That's a good question, to be honest. These small expressions help you speak without stopping to think too much. Start learning and practicing chunks, small groups of words that you can use automatically. They make your speech smooth and natural. Principle 4. Listen a lot. Listening builds fast thinking. Listening is not just about understanding, it's also about training your brain to think in English. When you listen to native speakers, podcasts, or movies, your brain learns how words connect and flow. Over time, you'll start to think in patterns, and your speaking speed will naturally increase. So the more you listen, the faster you'll think and speak. So remember these 4 principles. 1. Focus on ideas, not grammar. 2. Keep sentences simple. 3. Use common phrases. 4. Listen a lot. If you follow these, you'll already start noticing a big difference in your speaking speed and confidence. In the next part, I'll share some practical strategies you can use every day to train your brain to think faster in English, step by step. Practical strategies. These are real things you can do every day to train your brain to think faster in English. Remember, thinking fast is not about being perfect. It's about building habits that help your brain work automatically in English. So let's go through some simple and powerful exercises you can start using today. Strategy 1. Think in English during your day. The best way to train your brain is to use English in your daily thoughts. For example, when you wake up, don't think, "What should I eat for breakfast?" in your native language. Instead, say it in English, "What should I eat today?" When you walk outside, describe what you see. "The weather is nice," or "That's a beautiful car." This small habit helps your brain stay active in English all day long. The more you think in English, the less you'll translate and the faster you'll speak. Strategy 2. Try the shadowing method. This is one of the best exercises for fluency. Here's how it works. Listen to a short clip, maybe a YouTube video, podcast, or movie scene. As you listen, speak at the same time as the speaker, copying their words, tone, and rhythm. It feels hard at first, but it's very powerful. You train your mouth and brain to move together, just like native speakers do. Even 5 minutes a day can make a big difference. Strategy 3. The 1-minute speaking challenge. Set a timer for 1 minute. Choose a simple topic. For example, my favorite food or what I did yesterday, and start speaking non-stop for 1 full minute. Don't worry about grammar or mistakes. The goal is to keep your brain thinking in English for that whole time. This builds speed, confidence, and flow. When it gets easier, try 2 minutes, then 3. Strategy 4. Use English in daily tasks. You don't need a special time to practice English. Use it in your normal life. Write your shopping list in English. Change your phone settings to English. Write your daily journal in English. These small changes make English part of your everyday thinking, and soon your brain won't see English as a school subject, it will see it as a natural language you use daily. Strategy 5. Stop translating, think in English pictures. When you hear or read a word, don't translate it into your language. Instead, connect it with an image or feeling. For example, when you hear apple, imagine the red fruit. Don't think of the word in your language. When you hear happy, picture someone smiling. This is how native speakers think through pictures and meaning, not translations. It makes your brain faster and more natural. So, these are your 5 powerful strategies. 1. Think in English during your day. 2. Use the shadowing method. 3. Try 1-minute speaking challenges. 4. Use English in real-life tasks. 5. Stop translating, think with pictures. If you practice these every day, even for just 10 or 15 minutes, your brain will become faster, your speech will become smoother, and you'll start to feel English more naturally. Speak smartly and naturally. So far, we've talked about how to think fast in English. But now, let's talk about how to speak smartly and naturally. Because speaking fast doesn't always mean speaking well. Smart speaking means expressing your ideas clearly, confidently, and in a way people understand. Let's go through a few simple habits that can help you sound smarter when you speak English. Habit 1. Use pauses. Don't rush. Many learners think they must speak very fast to sound fluent. But actually, fluent speakers use pauses to think and to sound natural. A short pause helps your listener understand you better, and it makes you sound more confident. If you forget a word, don't panic. Just take a breath, smile, and continue. Remember, silence for 1 or 2 seconds is perfectly okay. Habit 2. Use simple linking words. Smart speaking is about connecting your ideas smoothly. You can do this easily with small words like so, because, then, actually, in my opinion, or for example. These linking words help your speech flow like a story. For example, I didn't go out yesterday because it was raining, so I stayed home and watched a movie. Sounds natural, right? Simple words, clear message. Habit 3. Listen before you speak. Smart speakers are also good listeners. When you really listen to others, you understand the topic better and can answer more naturally. Try to notice how native speakers respond, what words or phrases they use. Then use similar expressions in your own speech. Listening helps you speak not just faster, but smarter. Habit 4. Use tone and body language. Fluent English is not only about words, it's also about how you say them. Use a friendly tone, smile, when you speak. Use your hands a little to express yourself. This makes your speaking more lively and natural. When you sound interested, people enjoy listening to you. So remember, don't rush. Pause when you need to. Use linking words to connect ideas. Listen carefully to others. Use tone and body language with confidence. Speaking smart is not about using big words, it's about communicating simply and clearly. When you speak with confidence, people will always listen. Common mistakes to avoid. Before we move on, let's take a moment to talk about some common mistakes English learners often make when trying to think fast and speak smart. These mistakes are very normal, but once you know them, you can avoid them easily. Mistake 1. Overthinking grammar while speaking. Many learners try to remember every rule while talking, but this slows you down and makes you nervous. Instead, focus on the message, not the grammar. You can always fix grammar later when writing or reviewing, but during a conversation, just communicate. Mistake 2. Trying to speak too fast. Remember, fast does not mean fluent. If you speak too quickly without control, you might make more mistakes or lose clarity. It's better to speak a little slower, but clearly and confidently. Mistake 3. Memorizing instead of practicing. Some learners only memorize vocabulary or sentences but don't use them in real situations. Real fluency comes from using English speaking, listening, thinking, and reacting. So practice often, even if it's just with yourself. Mistake 4. Ignoring listening and pronunciation. Speaking well starts with listening well. If you don't listen enough, your brain won't recognize natural English patterns. So, make listening a daily habit. It helps your speaking sound clearer and smarter. Don't worry if you've made these mistakes, everyone does at first. The important thing is to notice them and keep improving step by step. Every time you practice, you're building your fluency and confidence. In the next part, we'll add some fun. I'll share creative and enjoyable ways to practice thinking and speaking faster in English. Now let's make learning more fun. The best way to learn to think fast and speak smart in English is to enjoy the process. If you make English part of your daily life in a fun way, you'll improve faster without even realizing it. Here are a few creative and easy ideas you can try. Idea 1. Record your own mini podcast or voice notes. Choose a topic, for example, your favorite movie, your goals, or what you did today, and record yourself speaking for 2 or 3 minutes. Then, listen again and notice what you said well and what you can improve. It's a great way to hear your progress and build confidence. Idea 2. Talk to yourself in English. Yes, it might feel funny at first, but it really works. Describe what you're doing. I'm cooking dinner, I'm cleaning the table, I'm checking my messages. Talking to yourself trains your brain to think quickly and naturally in English. No pressure, no fear. Idea 3. Play word games or describe things. Try games like describe the object. Pick something in the room and explain it without saying its name. For example, it's round, you throw it, and kids play with it, it's a ball. This game builds vocabulary and quick thinking at the same time. Idea 4. Watch short videos or shows, then explain them aloud. After watching, try to summarize the video in your own words. Don't worry about being perfect, just say what you understood. It's a great way to practice speaking naturally and improve your memory too. These fun activities make English part of your real life, not just a subject to study. When you enjoy it, your brain learns faster and remembers better. In the next part, we'll talk about something very important: motivation. I'll share a few words to keep you inspired and confident on your English journey. Before we finish, remember this: if learning to think fast and speak smart in English takes time, patience, and practice. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep going. Many learners give up because they think they're not improving fast enough. But every small step you take, every sentence you speak, every word you learn, every minute you listen, it all adds up. You might not see the progress every day, but trust me, it's happening. It can be hard sometimes. You might feel shy, nervous, or tired. But remember, even native speakers make mistakes. Fluency isn't about perfection, it's about confidence, communication, and connection. Every time you try, you're becoming more fluent. Every time you speak, your brain gets stronger. And every time you make a mistake, you're learning something new. So please don't stop. Keep practicing, keep listening, keep speaking, even when it feels difficult, because one day you'll realize you're speaking naturally without even thinking about it. You can do this. Believe in yourself. Stay patient and keep your English journey fun and positive. Quick review and key takeaways. Think fast starts in your mind. Fluent speaking begins with thinking in English, not translating from your native language. Your brain is like a road. The more you practice, the smoother it becomes. Focus on communication, not perfection. Don't get stuck trying to say every sentence perfectly. Focus on ideas, clarity, and confidence. Use simple, natural phrases. Short sentences, common phrases, and linking words make your speech smoother and easier to understand. Train your brain daily. Practice thinking in English, shadow native speakers, try 1-minute speaking challenges, and use English in your everyday tasks. Avoid common mistakes. Don't overthink grammar, rush too much, memorize without using English, or ignore listening. Small, consistent practice is much better than trying to be perfect. Make learning fun. Record yourself, talk to yourself, play word games, watch videos, and enjoy the process. When learning is fun, your brain learns faster and remembers more. So to think fast and speak smart, practice a little every day. Focus on ideas. Use simple language. Listen actively and enjoy the journey. Follow these steps and soon you'll notice your English becoming faster, clearer, and more confident even without trying too hard. Final message. That brings us to the end of today's episode on how to think fast and speak smart in English. Thank you so much for listening and spending your time learning with me. Remember, speaking English confidently is a journey, not a race. Take small steps every day, practice a little, enjoy the process, and celebrate every improvement, no matter how small. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss future episodes. Share it with friends who are learning English too. We can all grow together. I'm Alex, and it's been my pleasure to guide you today. Keep practicing, stay positive, and speak smart. I'll see you in the next episode.